Good timer. Okay. Well, anyway. All right. Here I go. Here. Yeah. All right. I'll continue. I'll let you. I'll let you know what this novel is. Name is maybe at the end of this thing here. I already gave it a name when I put it in book form, but I don't think I'll give it the name here on the internet. Yeah. Okay. Continue here. All right. Daniel kept his eyes on the road as he picked up old coffee stained his old and picked up as he picked up the old coffee stained Qualcomm. He pressed a button on it and read the message. He then pressed another button on it and asked Sally, "Are you good at typing?" "I text," she said. Daniel then directed, "Just type, 'I haven't been followed in the past hour.'" Sally got a puzzled look in her eyes and asked, "What did they say for you to respond with that?" "They asked me if I was still being followed." "Followed? Who was following you?" "Attackers," said Daniel. "You were attacked? But why?" asked Sully with concern in her eyes. Daniel looked at the flash drive containing Pikachu, in Sully's hand and said, "Because of that little thing inside the Pikachu that you're holding in your hand." Sully's eyes widened. She then said, "Are you some kind of secret agent or something? What's this thing contain?" "It's a long story," said Daniel, "but right now just type, 'I haven't been followed in the past hours,' and it should relieve the fears of my company." After Sally typed out that sentence, she handed the Qualcomm to Daniel, who then sent the message off to his company. "Why were you attacked?" asked now concerned Sally. Daniel eased the truck around a hill. "It all began when one of my fellow teachers in the teacher's room of my school talked about finding something in his computer, something that had been downloaded from one of the substitutes who used to work for my school district, but who hadn't been seen in about a year at that school. It was something he downloaded about 2 years earlier." "What did he download?" asked Sally. "Something on Islam. It was a video of himself asking Muslim viewers if they'd feel safe to swallow poison if they had first eaten 7 ajwa dates in the morning, because Muhammad said that if you eat 7 ajwa dates in the morning, you'll be protected all day from both magic and poison. He gave the Sahih Hadith name and number for anyone who might want to look it up. He remained. He reminded them that the word Sahih means authentic, which means Mo wasn't joking when he said that." Sully looked at the oncoming stretch of road. "You said something on his computer. I take it that wasn't the only thing found in his computer, true?" "No, that was all that was found in his computer that the sub had downloaded. The thing is, though, he got all the other teachers going to their computers to see if he had downloaded stuff on Islam when he subbed in their classes. Turns out he did, and each download was something totally different. One video had him asking Muslims if they believe Satan slept in the upper interior of their nose during the night while they slept, which again is another authentic saying from the Hadith. Another teacher found a video of him asking Muslims who had corrupted Allah's books, i.e., the Bible, if Allah is predestining everyone. Another video had him asking Muslims if they believed water was not only defiled except in taste, smell, and color, being that Muhammad said that and used, yeah, if they believed water was not defiled except in taste, smell, and color, being that Muhammad said that, and used pond water to drink that had a dead donkey in it. In my computer, I found that he wasn't asking Muslims questions. Instead, he was explaining how the Quran says it's a confirmation of previous scriptures, i.e., the Bible." Why is that important? Asked Sully. Because, said Daniel, the Quran and the Bible are polar opposites to each other. There's no confirming going on between them at all. They're like matter and antimatter. Muslims see the problem. Muslims see the problem, so they have to believe the Bible became corrupted. There's just one little snag with that thinking. Actually, a giant snag. The Dead Sea Scrolls were in existence long before the Quran. Why is that important? Sully asked. Because the ancient Dead Sea Scrolls were almost identical to the modern translations of the Old Testament. Not one jot or tittle has been changed in over 2,000 years. Sally thought about what Daniel had just told her. Then she changed the subject. Are you saying you tried to collect all those videos the sub fellow downloaded into teachers' computers at your school? Daniel smiled and said, hell no. I thought the guy was a loon. There was one teacher who did that, who did do that, making his own flash drive. But what you have in your hands isn't that flash drive. What you have is the original. That's the flash drive that got him making all those videos exposing Islam. It also got me into trucking. Sally squeezed the Pikachu doll to see if she could feel it. There was something hard within. She then asked, well, how did you get a hold of it? Did he give it to you? Then he smiled, seemed to fade, and he said, I took sick leave to visit my dad in the hospital. He was on his way out, and I needed a sub. I didn't request this sub. The district's computer called him up, and he subbed to my class without my knowing it until the following day. That's when I found the flash drive still attached to the back of my old desktop computer. No doubt he probably downloaded the data into a computer of his own and didn't really need it anymore. Still, with all that's on it, I find it baffling he'd walk off without it. Of course, a flash drive is only as important as what's on it. Strange, said Sally. A device that changed your life, and he walks away from it. Daniel noticed the truck was beginning to slide a bit. He put the truck into low gear. This isn't good. Looks like I'll have to put on chains. Of course, my driving time is almost up, and I haven't seen one place to stop a truck. Sally looked at the flash drive as if in deep thought and repeated, Daniel, do you know what happened to the sub? Daniel shook his head and replied, all I know is he had been gone from school for a year. He had been gone from my school for over a year. I didn't know it at the time, but he had become a trucker. After a year, he quit his job due to misunderstanding with his trucking company. Something that sounded like a supernatural event helped to get him fired. Regardless, he returned to the thing he loved. He really loved substitute teaching, but he was only in it for a very short time. He was a Muslim? Asked Sally. Was is the active word for sure. He left Islam, and according to the Hadith, Daniel was suddenly interrupted by two loud beeps on the Qualcomm, letting him know that he'd be in violation within an hour. Damn, said Daniel. I thought so. I only have 1 hour of drive time left. Then I have to shut it down or be in violation. And man, there is no place I can park this truck. Whoever planned this highway must have hated truckers. Sally then asked, what happens if you go into violation? I have to see a bunch of safety videos that tell me nothing I don't already know. Hopefully my company will understand it, that I just ended up on a snowy road hostile to big rigs. Sully then asked again, well, you say this guy was a Muslim. Are you sure he just wasn't acting Muslim? Daniel shifted to a lower gear as the truck started going up a grade. Oh, he wasn't acting. He took Islam seriously for a while, but it was his questioning mind that got him out of it. In the process, he had to die. You see, once a Muslim, always a Muslim. If you leave Islam, you have to die. Sully was silent. Daniel went on with, on the last day he was seen, He was teaching my science class. From student reports, he was getting a lot of calls on his cell phone. His conversation was caught on one of the students' cell phone cameras. What did he say? Asked Sally. It sounded like he was making critical points against Islam. The next day, reports came in that he had been killed in his mobile home due to a faulty gas leak. And all that because he was exposing Islam? Asked Sally. Surprising, isn't it? You say he was making critical points against Islam? Like what? Well, Daniel paused. What's it tell you about a religion and its God when its God has to have its followers threaten death on anyone who will question it? Does that religion sound true and noble to you? Is that religion worth killing for? Is that religion worth lying for? He was basically trying one last effort to get them to doubt Islam. He felt that if he could make them doubt Islam, it would make them hesitant in their attempt to carry out what Muhammad in the Hadith commands Muslims to do with apostates. From the news that followed, it sounds like he wasn't very successful. Anyway, he never downloaded anything further into my computer while he subbed that day, making me wonder if it wasn't a mistake that he left the flash drive attached to my computer. With the threatening calls he was receiving, disrupting the class, maybe he totally forgot that he attached the flash drive to my computer earlier that day. He did actually manage to leave a subnote for me to tell me how the class, how the morning classes went, but there was no more notes after fourth period. I think he was so rattled by the threats coming in over his cell that by fifth period he was totally oblivious to all the class activity. He just ended his note to me with, "Well, it's been bizarre. Goodbye and have a nice life." He didn't bother put down his name or number for him to call him in case I wanted him back. Sally shook her head, saying, "Creepy." She then asked, and and that's how you got a hold of the flash drive? Yes. By the way, I didn't know the flash drive was attached to my computer until a student called my attention to it. As students did their assignments, I'd look through the files of the flash drive, put on headphones, and listen to the videos the sub and others before him had put onto it. I'd also look through the sub's journal that was all in Arabic. So I looked surprised and asked, "You know Arabic?" "Oh, I'm not that smart," laughed Daniel. "No, I don't know much Arabic, and neither did the sub, even though he was a Muslim for a while. Whatever he was about to download from his journal onto that flash drive, he'd first put it in a translator, translating it. Let's see here. I think I'll stop it here, yeah. And then I'll begin it again.